This is your song, not mine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please hold your applause. Oh,
Hey, what's up?
oh, wait a minute.
What?
I'm having technical. Can you see me?
I can see you now.
Okay. Hi, Mama.
Hey, what's going? I heard you before you were on. You're like saying stuff. It was cracking me up. But
A mess, a mess. I don't understand it. This is why I go to therapy. Listen,
we all need to go to.
speak on it. Do you go to therapy?
Not
This is a
yet.
weird way to start the show, but okay.
Shoot. I mean, it's real though. I don't go to therapy, but I want to.
I think you should. I think you would love it.
I think I would like it too, and
Like,
I think it's something important that we all need to do. But I'm definitely, like, I will definitely, like, I need to look and find.
yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. I know that was a weird way to start the show, everyone, but you know what? It can't get any realer.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking, the time out to shoot the shit with me again. I have to start off with this. Mother showed up, mother showed out the other night. And
That's fun.
I was like, yo, I'm actually glad I wasn't there because you would have been so mad at me because by the time you got to Tsunami, I would have been sobbing in the front row and you would have been like, this little bitch.
No.
Oh, this motherfucker drove 3 hours to cry. Out of here. No, it was incredible. And in all seriousness, your look, Reese, you were giving me Diana. You were giving me like, I was so proud. Like, oh my God. Like, you were just from the outfit, the stage was incredible. Steve, tell Steve I said, you did that. And that is what you did.
Yo, Steve.
He's the drummer and as well as her musical partner, everyone.
Carlos said you did that, and yes, you did at the show. And he was like, "What?"
It'll make sense later, Steve. No, listen, I was like, because he kept changing the arrangement, or you guys changed the arrangements,
No,
right? So
I got to give him his credit. Like I try to stay out of people's way when they know what they're doing. So he did that. Him and Caleb.
He did you justice. He did you justice.
He's the musical director. He is the guy.
Listen,
he is the guy.
It was incredible. So I guess first question to you, how do you feel now post show and where's your headspace at right now?
Well, I feel good. When I was doing the show, I realized that it was, I'm going to take this out of the case. It was the first show that I did in front of people in like a really long time. And it didn't feel that comfortable. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it was a little weird. It was like kind of weird. The whole pandemic situation, it was unusual to perform in front of a phone and not hear any applause. And that was like not cool. But then you kind of get used to it, I guess, because you're really in your comfort zone, because you're in your space. You have everything set up the way you want it. But then when I did the show, it was kind of like a little weird, but at the same time, it felt really good. And it was really like, it kind of gave me a new fire. And it was great because I felt like the audience is different now. I feel like when we do shows now, the audience is way more attentive. It's almost like doing a show and like years ago we would say, oh, when you go to Japan, when you perform in Japan, the audience is so respectful and they're quiet and they're watching and they're like patient and they're being very respectful. And I felt that same energy, but in New York City, where usually in New York, there's a big crowd of people there, but they're also talking amongst themselves and laughing and drinking and da-da-da. But no, it was like I had everyone's attention. And everybody was with me. Like, they wanted to hear the songs. They were like happy. I felt like I saw myself in the audience, like it was people my age and, people younger, people older, people white, people black. It was all.
You said you wanted to be out there. You was like, I want to be out there with y'all.
Yeah, because it was, it felt like people I would hang out with. Like there was a girl in the front row that literally had on an outfit that I would wear, stuff like random stuff like that. And I don't know if it's, it's not even important, but it was great. It was, you know, the sound was great. The venue was great. You know, they were really nice. Like when we rolled up with all of our equipment, you know, like 4 guys came out to help us with our stuff. You know, it was just a good vibe. You know, summer stage was great, you know, as far as promotion, as far as just making sure everything was right. And they were pleasant to work with.
And that always helps.
It does always help, you know, it
Yeah.
really does. And you know, the stage was great. I don't, you know, the one thing I've always, you know, before I go to a venue, I always look it up online to see like where I'm going to be performing and what it looks like if I can't just go there, you know, and see it myself. And
Oh, oh.
following me and I just, but I, you know, I realized that when the back, you know, the back wall of the venue, right? It
Yeah.
was a lot of like lights, right? But really, it was a wall that had little cutouts, like they cut circles out in the wall. And instead of a piece of glass, they had an ashtray. They were different ashtrays, like all those like clear, you know, where the lights were coming through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was actually imagine like a wall and
So
someone
everything
pushing.
was
They were
not.
different ashtrays. They were glass ashtrays, different, all hodgepodge, different ones. So like the light was behind the wall, so it like was glittering, and they had the lights and the red, and that, like I didn't even expect all of that. Like I thought it was just gonna be one thing, but they were
Yeah.
doing the colors, and
Oh,
you know, great. Like I had a great time though.
they did you right, girl. They
They
did you.
did, and the band was great. You know, we obviously we condensed the band to be a lot smaller. We had a keyboard player, we had, you know, Steve on drums,
Yeah.
and you know, but we had tracks playing, and it was just, you know, we had some, you know, technical difficulties because we had some tracks playing that didn't need to play that we had for rehearsal and stuff
Oh,
like that. But you know, we worked it out,
right,
and
right.
for it, and everyone was like so welcoming, and it was just great to get on. It was great because I, you know, when I came home that night and I had an email for another show at City Winery and another show in Detroit. So now I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, they must have felt the vibes, you know, the good vibes of the show. And we're going to be at City Winery in Washington, D.C. on May 21st. That's a Saturday night. And we're also going to be in Detroit in April. So, you know, I'm just trying to book as many shows as I can. Just,
I
you know,
need
and
I need you to come over here to like Massachusetts. Can you do a Boston gig?
I'm trying to do Boston. I'm trying to pitch to like all of the city wineries and just other places that will take me, you know. So City Winery is a great venue because it's the right size, you know, and they have great sound and they do marketing and blah blah blah. So, you know, they're trickling in, but I'm definitely trying to be in Boston for sure.
What was well, I know what your favorite song is, but other than that particular, and you said it on stage, what one song, like when you were up there, if at all your mind went back to like, or maybe the whole show, your mind was thinking about the making of it, chilling with Santa Gold in the studio and whatnot. Or you know what? Let me rephrase this question back. When you were up there, what was going on in your mind? Like, how did you feel? Were you nostalgic? Were you present? Were you like, I'm that bitch? You know what I mean? Like,
I
were
was
you in your
like,
bag, or were you
I
just?
felt good. I mean, I was thinking like, you know, wow, like people are here for this music and they were singing along, and it's like, wow, we really did, you know, carve a moment in time. And it wasn't just for me. It's, you know, that album's a big deal to me because it's my album. Like people will come up to me and say, oh, I love the album. And I'm like, you think you like it? Like it really changed my life, you know? And I'm able to do this job. And so, you know, I'm up there singing like 700 miles. Like that's one of the first songs I ever even wrote. You know, I didn't write all of the songs on How I Do, but 700 miles and Ice King, those were like maybe the sixth, seventh song I ever wrote in my life. So, you know, singing those songs, it's like, wow, it brought me back to like the silhouette on the wall and why I painted that on my wall. I actually had that painted on my wall, you know,
Mhm.
it just, you know, and being back in New York, I mean, that's where I created that album. I didn't create
Right.
the album in Philly, you know? So, you know, it was just great. It was like, wow, people really love this music, and they will. And I got the vibe that people will always love that album, and I'm just happy that it came through me.
But you know this. It's 20 years and we're still gagging like they're gagging. Who gag?
Dude, I'm gagging. Like I
Like,
just, it's just a great feeling to be able to sing a song that people want to hear. Right.
thank you for singing some new stuff.
Oh yeah, Burning Desire. Yeah, that was it's a 20th anniversary show. I did about 45 minutes to an hour. When I
Yeah,
do the show, as I do more shows, the set will be longer. I will be doing more songs from the album. So I did about 7 or 8 songs from the album. The album has about 12 songs in it, including the hidden track.
I said at some point, or in my head, I was hoping. I said at some point, she gonna pull on stage for Ice King remix. Something's about to go down in this place. Didn't happen, but let's manifest it. Not
Let's
serious.
manifest it.
Where are
Let's
you?
manifest that. Like, for sure, let's manifest it.
I'm
Oh my God.
telling you. I'm telling you. How did you feel singing new material? Because you're celebrating 20 years of the staple, right? And so like now you're putting out new stuff. How did you feel? Like how did that feel?
That felt really good because people really were listening. That was the whole vibe. It was like I couldn't believe, like, it's one thing to gain someone's attention because you're trying. Like you're like up there, like over here dancing, over there dancing. But it's another
Yeah.
thing to just have people's attention. It's another thing for people to come to a show knowing they want to hear it, knowing they like you can. Yeah, I did a lot of shows in the beginning where I opened up for like Maxwell, or John Mayer, or I was opening up for like these huge artists, Alanis Morissette, and I was the new person. Like,
Pause. Stop. I'm sorry. Rewind. I didn't mean to cut you off, my love. Did you just say Alanis?
yeah,
Alanis
I did a few shows opening up for Alanis. I actually did the New York show out in it's like the Meadowlands or something or whatever, like out somewhere. But yeah, and being the new kid on the block and performing songs that didn't really have a reference point yet, and it really wasn't anybody out there. I mean, we had Dionne Farris doing Rockstar, and I was a huge fan of hers, and I still am. But it's different to go on stage trying to win a crowd over. I always got in a habit, and I always, for me, it was all about winning a crowd over, because this is a new sound. I'm a Black girl doing something that you're not expecting me to do. Everybody was into Brandy back then. It was what I was doing. But I can't tell you how great it feels to walk out on the stage, and no matter what you do, people are there for it. That's like a whole different level of satisfaction that I did not have for the first X amount of years, of my career, because people were just getting to know me, or they didn't see me perform a lot, or the only thing they didn't hear my album, they didn't hear my music. They just, the first time they're seeing me is because I'm opening up for someone that they love, so, I went out on stage knowing I didn't have to like win a crowd over, and do all this dazzle. I could just sing the song the way it goes.
And you communicate really well with the audience too. Just even like your dialogue with them, it was effortless. It was so genuine and authentic. And you mentioned the word relatable. I'm a whole situation tonight. I'm sorry, I'm tired. You mentioned the word relatable, and I think that's why we all love you so much. I think you mentioned before, actually, I told you this before. When I was 19, you came to Six Flags, and you told me the story about Vanessa Carlton and the jeans. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. Who else was there? And then I was fortunate enough to see you 2014, and the rest is history. I have a question for you. Do you ever because you do things from Refried Mac, are you ever gonna revisit stuff from Black Girls Rock Live?
I will. I want to. It's just, it's hard sometimes to figure out what you should do and how you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to do as much how I do stuff and then just get new stuff.
Yeah.
But, thanks for the reminder, because the only song I did that I usually do from Black Girls Rock is For Who You Are, because it's so popular online and people really love that record. But I think, you know, people love On My Way. I mean, people like love that album too.
Favorite one.
You know, I probably should bring those back actually. So
All I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Doing in May in DC at City Winery, I have between 75 to 90 minutes. So that would probably be a great opportunity.
Right. Let's talk about, so Brooklyn, Detroit next, you said, right?
It's going to be in April, either April 7th or April 15th. But I just recently, just today, someone reached out to me in Detroit. It's called, there's an art gallery, a black woman owned art gallery called Irwin House. Okay. I believe Irwin House Gallery.
Irwin House Gallery.
They're having like an exhibit. They always have exhibits and stuff there. And they're going to actually feature some of my new music and like a small installation where we're gonna view one of my videos that I never released before, that I did during the pandemic, and probably like one performance, and you know, have some music playing or whatever as well, like a small installation. And that's gonna happen March, I believe, 15th. So I'll, you know, be posting in
That's awesome.
days, and but then I'll be performing in Detroit, either April 7th or the 15th at, I think it's Willis or something like that, a small intimate spot. So, you know.
I want to say a big shout out to Penny Lane, still my favorite song on the album other than Bridges. Can you talk about, I know we talked about this before, but just as a, you know, for anyone who's tuning in now, what that song is about, and just.
Which song? Penny Lane?
Oh, Penny Lane, yes. Which is on the new album, Reset.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. Well, I think it's.
Oh, you didn't.
I don't know. I'm so like.
I'm about to have a whole 5-year-old fit.
I know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I try to do.
The song is so fire.
But yeah, Penny Lane is a great song. It's gonna come out regardless.
Cool. Right. If I ruined any, like, people are like,
I actually feel like I'm gonna release it like ASAP, because why not? But it's called Penny Lane, and it's a reference to the movie Almost Famous. And Penny Lane, in my eyes, is like a person that is kind of like a band-aid. That's what we call them. It's like kind of not. It's in the groupie status, but they're actually a groupie that actually helps. You know, like they do stuff for the band. But the song, you know, sometimes it's, you know, that person doesn't really value themselves, you know, and sometimes they put themselves in positions where they're kind of just being used in a sense. So that's what that song is. And basically I'm kind of, I guess, going back and forth saying, you know, that this person is like a, you know, a Penny Lane. I'm not, but they are, you know, in a sense.
So we've got Penny Lanes, we've got Golden Boys, we've got Ice Kings.
Yeah.
We all wrapped up in a tsunami.
Yeah, but I, you know, just most importantly, I had such a great time, like, doing the show, and I really did. I had a great time, and I just can't wait to do more, to be honest. I really am just grateful, you know, for the audience members, and like how they respond to the music, and like they know every song, and it just means it's, you know, it's just, you know, it's almost like, I don't know, I'm just very lucky that it came through me.
Oh, sorry, I got feedback on my phone when I was talking. You made a special ladies day. You gave her I can't think of her name. I mean, she might be on right now. Honey, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I forgot your first name, but you gave her these.
Oh yeah, she's there's actually 2 people I'm gonna send them to, because one girl came from California, and another girl, and a woman from Texas. Oh yeah, I hope she got it. And I'm like, I'm gonna give you one too.
Yes,
from Texas. Like, come on.
That's the woman I'm referring to. She's a sweet. We chat on. I can't remember her name right now, but she was so happy. We had a private discussion, and you made her day.
Oh, awesome! Yeah,
I feel like you should know that. I have a question for you. Who would you like to be on stage with in the future? Musician, poet, whoever you want. Who would you love to perform?
I have my whole like list of people that I would love to play with. There's musicians. I guess if we're talking bandmates, I love playing with Steve McKee. Like, yeah, it's my partner and all, but like before he was my partner and my man and all that stuff, like he's just an incredible drummer. I love playing also with Fish from Fishbone. He's an incredible drummer.
Ooh.
I love playing with a guy named Yuki. I don't even know if people know these people, but Yuki he goes by Big Yuki. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a great keyboard player that I played with Idol Worship with Talib and myself, and I would love to play with also keyboards James Poyser. I kind of want to play with him too because he's just great at what he does, and I never really got a chance to like perform with him, but I know he's one of the greats. Guitar players, honestly, I really like there's a guy named Juju in California. Like there's certain people that I just that I played with before and I just want to play with again. Dwayne Moore, he's a bass player. He usually plays with Beck, but he's from Philly, black guy from Philly, and he's like insane. So it's like, musician wise, it's like really specific people, but the one thing I would like to do, I would like to find a background vocalist that actually sounds just like me. And I haven't found her yet, but I would love to find someone that sounds exactly like me, like, because, when someone hits the backgrounds, you want it to be like the record, so I'm looking for that, but
gives it that depth as well.
Yeah, but there's no like famous people that I'm like, oh, anybody that I admire musically that's an artist, I would rather just like watch them do their thing, so if you ask me like what concert I want to go to next,
Okay, what concert you want to see next?
I want to see Sade. I want to be front row for Stevie Wonder because I've never seen them perform before. I also I want to see SZA perform live. I want to see Azalea Banks live, but I want to see her, and I want to make sure it like, she just doing her thing.
Her show. I seen her 6 years ago in Boston. Killed it, right? Killed it. It was like that young lady that is on social media, just that girl was there that night.
Oh, good.
Talent.
Yeah.
Mom, I love her. I love
her.
I mentioned Sade. I just want to like brag and say I got to see her for the Soldier of Love tour. Oh yeah, it was incredible. One of the best shows ever. I asked you this before.
Oh, and I want to see Wizkid.
Who? I missed that one.
His name is Wizkid.
Wizkid.
Yeah, he's like a Nigerian pop artist.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
Salute Mr. Wizkid.
Yeah, Mr. Wizkid. I want to see him too.
So. I asked you this before, and I know the answer, but I want for anyone who's watching now to catch up with us. Reese, when she started 20 years ago, to Reese now. Talk about it.
A lot more experience, a lot more confidence. When I first started, before I got my record deal and before I ever did one show as like Reese, I had only been on stage performing one song, maximum 2 songs back to back. Like I didn't like just perform. It wasn't just like a thing I did. So I was very nervous in the beginning. Like I was so nervous for shows that I couldn't eat the whole day. I couldn't eat. All I could do was like use the restroom. So I kind of, I was like, I was 6-packed up. Like I was like so like skinny and in shape because I just couldn't, like my nerves were so bad. I couldn't eat that day. I could only like drink water and drink tea. And I would struggle with talking to the audience in the very beginning. So now to hear you say like, oh, you were so comfortable, and that means a lot to me because I didn't start that way at all. And I didn't start that way. And so for you to say that, it's like, oh, okay, I did get better, you know, like, okay, I got better.
You
But
did. You did. You had great like it was
yeah,
hard. It was perfect.
but I just think I have more confidence now. And but I am still nervous, you know. If you ask my partner Steve, he'll tell you like, oh my God, you're always nervous. You're so nervous when you're like doing shows, you know, and I'm not usually in the best mood when I'm nervous. I'm like, ugh, you know.
Mhm.
But other than that, I think that's the major difference. I just feel better about doing shows, and I think I just know a lot more of what I want, and you know, with the musicians that I'm playing with. And
Right, right.
but a lot hasn't changed, you know. A lot hasn't changed. So
Does it seem more fun this time around though? I
mm,
mean, not fun in the sense, maybe that's a bad word to use, but does it seem, I don't know, is it a better experience this time? Because the first time is just, you know, putting the music out there and all that, but now we're celebrating you're getting all this love and you know what I mean? Like,
well, I guess some parts were more fun back then because I'm someone that I like to do new things. So if it's something new, then I'm like, I'm down to try it, and I just have fun because it's a new experience or it's a new place. So, you know, but I think it's more fun now because I know that I'm walking out on a stage where I'm welcomed. I'm
mm,
walking out on a stage where I know people want to hear what I have to say. Like I'm walking on stage knowing that basically I can't really go wrong. And I'm walking out on stage knowing that no matter what happens, I'll be able to handle it.
yes, yes.
You know, where in the past, you know, you just don't know. You're like, oh my God, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, I remember I was on stage with like my zipper down or something, you know, like years ago. And it's like, or I was on stage and like my top fell off. Like anything that can possibly happen on stage that you don't want to happen has
Uh,
already happened.
right, right,
You
right.
know, it's almost like, you know what it's the equivalent to, because people out there will understand this. It's the equivalent to getting your license and driving when you're
Mm,
16, or getting your license and driving when you're 30, 40. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you like to drive and you like to go on road trips, it's always fun. But when you first got your license, it was great because you just were driving, you had that new freedom, you didn't know what to expect. But when it rained,
very
you
true.
didn't really know what to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But you get through the rain, you get through the hydroplane, you get through getting in an accident, almost getting in an accident, you know. All these crazy things can happen, and then, you know, and that's the same way with singing on stage. It's like all these crazy things happen the first couple of years, and it's surprising and it's new and it's exciting and it's horrible and all this stuff, you know. But then you realize you'll get through it, you know. And then you realize, if I got through all of that, I can get through anything. I mean,
Amen.
I had one, you know, I used to be so scared at one point if I wasn't in perfect voice. Like if I had like I don't know, a sore throat or something like that, I would be like, oh my God, how am I doing this show? I can't do the show. How am I doing? You know, like freaking out. Where now it's like, no, I just sing it differently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it. I'll just sing it a little different. Won't hit that high note. I'll hit a little low note, you know,
It's
and
your
I'll
it's
do it
your
with
art.
much more confidence.
Yeah, it's your art. You
Mm.
know, it's for you to switch up and what have you. I have a question. I asked you this last time. You and Santiago are still cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, relatively, we're not like BFFs, but
Okay.
you know, like we're good. I mean, you know, she has like twins and she has family and blah blah
You,
blah. So I don't really see her often, but you know, I talked to her mom not that long ago, and you
so
know, she's doing
I just
good.
want to know, did they see the show? Did she see the show?
I
Did you hear
probably
back?
I don't know. I honestly I don't even know. I don't know.
And then there's somebody who
I
really wants to know if you know Kid Cudi.
I don't know Kid Cudi. I do not. I never met him, but I'm definitely a fan of his music.
Right?
And when he acts, like, you know, he's pretty good
Love.
when he's, you know, doing his acting thing too. Like he's very talented. So
Let's talk about something really quickly, just kind of like in terms of culture and all that. If I can just get your opinion on the verses, all,
mm,
and not just a specific one, or if you want to point out
mm.
your favorites, but how, like,
I didn't see the last one. I mean, I thought the best verses was the first one. because it was just hilarious because like no one understood what
Was
to do.
him and Swiss on the first one?
No, it was
No.
Teddy Riley. It was
Oh,
Teddy Riley
and Babyface.
and Baby
Oh,
Teddy
man.
Riley, Babyface. That I mean, it gets no better. Come on.
It doesn't. And I'll
It
never
gets
forget
better.
what he said. He said, I don't do remixes or something like that. He like gave like a snooty. It's like, oh my god. One of my favorite ones was Jill and Erica.
Oh, okay.
He won recently, and Snoop and DMX.
Oh, I like that. I see. I didn't catch them. Like I didn't catch them all. Like I caught like Patti LaBelle and Gladys.
That was
I
good.
caught that one.
Good. And
I caught the very first one, and a couple of them got too wild, but I think
yeah.
it's a great thing. I mean, I think Versus is great. I didn't even. How did I miss this last one? I didn't even catch the Music Soul Child one.
Oh, with Anthony Hamilton. I honestly
Yeah.
didn't that either. So yeah, I feel like I didn't see much promotion of it, or there wasn't as much behind that I know of. It's such a great thing. If you could do a versus, this is so corny, but if you could do a versus, whose ass you whooping on that stage?
I don't know, man. I don't know who I'm doing. I don't know.
Got your back.
I have
for you.
no idea. I
Got your
honestly have no idea.
Get off of that. Let's talk about the new albums. Can you tell everyone, or what's indie? Oh yeah, like where they can get it, and who's receiving it, and what your process is.
Well, I had to actually start a label. I started an independent label called Reset Society,
Ooh, nice.
because I wanted to license how I do and blah blah blah, and it turned out I just wanted to print up vinyl of how I do because it's out of print. No one can get it. I can't even get it. I mean, I have one copy. I think I have a copy, and like my mom has a copy or something. She has but I needed to get it out in print, like the vinyl. And so I ended up having to start a label. It's called Reset Society. And then it dawned on me. It's like, okay, I guess I'll just put out my own music on my own label. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So the album is called Reset. I also want to release some NFTs around it. But I'm not even quite sure if I have any fans that are like into this and NFTs, into my music and NFTs, but I'm going to find out. And, I have a lot of great artwork that was done by Paul Story. The theme for Reset was very much kind of like the visual theme was a kind of like Black Joan of Arc, like a really strong hero.
Yeah.
Vibe. That's like the visual for like the cover of the album and the artwork. And it's funny because the person that did the artwork, his name is Christopher Lyons, and we met on MySpace. We've never formally met in person. We've only talked over the phone, Zoom calls, emails, but he totally gets me and totally gets, visually what I think is stunning. And, we just have the same similar, I don't even know if we have the same similar vibe creatively, or if he's just that great at, working with an artist and pulling out what they want, but he did the cover art, and it's just like something that kind of really came together organically. It was like, okay, I know I like working with him. I know this person over here, Paul, takes amazing photos, and we just kind of did a shoot and it came together. But the music is pretty good. I'm going to give it to the Indiegogo people first.
Yes.
And I'm just waiting for like one more mix, for the music, but it's done. And and I'm excited, and I know everybody's waiting for it, and I can't wait to give it out. And yeah, it's pretty freaking good.
What happened to? I was gonna give you a sound effect. Damn it, man.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna give you a sound effect, but my favorite sound. It's a mess. like the host, it's a mess.
Oh, but I want to say thank you to everybody who came out to the show, because it really made my night. Really, really, really made our nights.
Which,
great.
by the way, the gentleman that we gave the ticket to, he sent me a picture. God bless him.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he said it was incredible. incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was a great venue too. Anybody that wants to have a show, wants to see a great show, go to Babies. All right. It's really a really cool venue
Brooklyn,
in
New York.
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
What's been the kind of like craziest, not or the most interesting place you've ever played live at? Whether it was visually stunning somewhere or the stage was killer or.
I performed at this like glass house thing, this venue that was like a glass dome in New Orleans. And that was pretty incredible. And then, yeah, that was pretty incredible. But I would say the biggest, best experience for a performance for me was when I opened up for Mary J. Blige years ago at Wembley Stadium in the UK. Like that, I'm like, that's like my bragging rights in my life at this point, you know, like it was
The new one or the old one?
I guess the old one, whatever was popping in 2002.
Damn it, man.
Yeah, and it was, you know, a packed house and like
so awesome.
And like Sting came and I got to meet him and you know, Annie Lennox came to the show. Obviously they didn't come for me because they don't know me. They know Mary J. Blige, but they came and they came backstage and I got to meet them and they were like, yo, the show was great. Like they actually saw my show and I was pretty stoked about that. But yeah, Wembley Stadium was pretty drastic for me. I mean, I had a lot of great experiences singing backgrounds with Gnarls Barkley. And they, you know, we did, you know, like Fuji Rocks, which is like a festival at the top of a mountain in Japan. And,
wait. I learned something new every day. You did backup for Gnarls Barkley?
Yeah, I was the background singer for Gnarls Barkley for the Saint Elsewhere tour. For Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I was, you know, we were dressing up in all these different costumes. We did the, you know, MTV Movie Awards and we got to wear the costumes from Lucasfilm's Star Wars. And I had like the orange jumpsuit. I was like I don't know. I don't even watch Star Wars. So I don't even know what I was, but I had this big helmet on and I had like an orange jumpsuit and a backpack and I was like a fighter.
The white helmet.
Yeah, you know, and we had like a Chewbacca was the drummer and, you know, CeeLo was whatever he was, you know, he was Darth Vader and Han Solo was Danger Mouse. And, but yeah, I was a background singer for them for about a year and a half, 2 years. And we dressed up in all sorts of costumes. And that was an amazing experience. Amazing. Because we got to travel the world. I got to go to Australia. I got to go to New Zealand. And we had ridiculous ass costumes. So, but I was always in costume. So people really didn't notice. But that leads me. I think one of the best performances as a background singer in the best places, you know, at one point we did a few shows all in Europe and we went to Abbey Road where the Beatles, you know, Beatles, Abbey Road, studio. And we performed, Gnarls Barkley performed like 4 or 5 songs in costume dressed like Grease, you know, Grease. So I was like a pink lady and I had the little like poodle skirt on and like the little jacket, you know, and I don't know if it's on YouTube still. I don't think it is, but if someone can find it, look on Abbey Road.
On that internet, someone please.
Yeah, find it. I don't even know if it's still up there because I feel like they took it down, but but it might be up there. But yeah, just during the St. Elsewhere tour, I was their background singer. We dressed up like a metal hair band. We dressed up like doctors. We dressed up like Star Wars. We dressed up. One time we had bathrobes on. We dressed like we just got out of the shower, and it was insane. We were like at a metals festival in like Finland, a hard rock metal festival where literally the audience was going like this, literally. Okay, like it was scary. But I guess that's like something they do. I don't know. It looked like kind of Hitler-ish to me, but I was just like, I'm getting out of here. But anyway, we were in the middle of a forest in Finland at their hard metal festival. And that week, you know, we had different costumes. So every week we had like a set of different costumes. Yeah. So this week they said, oh, this costume is going to be the bathrobe. So we had to wear
towels, bath slippers, like nothing underneath them, like, you know, like nothing underneath them, and a bath, you know, like a bathrobe over it, and it's just a towel, like we got out the shower, and we were like on stage at a metal festival. Cena was like, I ain't wearing that tonight. He
I
was like, I can't wear the bathrobe
I
tonight.
can't with him.
He
Do
wore
you
like a
still keep in touch with anyone from that camp?
um not really. I mean, we all kind of went our separate ways. You know, that crew was such a motley crew in a great way. It was the drummer from that founded Nine Inch Nails was the drummer. Like we had like Alanis Morissette's like keyboard player, guitar player. It's like all these different amazing, you know, great people. We had Josh Klinghoffer, who is he is the guitar player for Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
The
he was in the band at the
I
time.
know that's his name though.
Yeah, Josh, and such a rock star too, right?
So that's
And
a plethora of like talent,
yeah,
whatnot. Did you do the Grammys with them too? I'm sorry, we're on
I
this.
did, I did. And you know what? Let me tell you about the Grammys.
That was the military look, right?
No, it was yes, it was the military look for them,
For,
and we had like remember they had like all the singers up at the top on the back at the top,
mm-hmm.
and to be honest, I had a problem with that because
Oh,
honestly, it's not my show and it was not my thing. But the problem was that, and you know, I'm sure not everybody wants to bring this up, but you know, I was a background singer. It was myself and another black gentleman,
okay.
and you know, we were the background singers. It's like want to see those best friends, and we when you do the Grammys, you know, you usually beef up your band, like you know, because it's a big deal, and so you know, they said, okay, we usually have 4 string players, and now we're going to have like a whole string section. So they hired all these string section people. And then they said, okay, instead of just having 2 background singers, we're going to have like a choir of background singers. Well, I don't know who sent the memo. I think I know who sent the memo, but I I'm not going to say who I think sent the memo. But I just know that they specifically requested blonde hair, white blonde hair, blue eye, like singers for the background singers for the choir. And I'm not white or blonde hair and blue eyes. So when I showed up to the rehearsal and you know the woman that was leading the choir, you know, she was there to get the choir on deck. They all wanted to talk to me, and because they're like, you're the actual background singer, we want to make sure we're teaching all these women the right part. And like she asked me like, this is kind of strange because they actually requested for blonde hair, blue eyed women. Like that's strange. And I had a problem with it because, you know, that's strange. Like that's strange. And
Oi.
yeah,
This
and
is 2006, 7.
yeah, and the other thing was they didn't have us like we were like the background singers for
Mind
the
blown.
whole 2 years. So we felt like we should have been on stage, like on down on the stage with the band, not up in the back bleachers at the top with, you know, the 60 or 70 white, black, you know, white blonde hair, blue eyed singers. And you know, we said something about it, and we were basically told that if we had a problem with it, they would still pay us and we didn't have to do it, which is kind of like even a
The
little bit
told you that.
awkward
The
because
National Recording Arts Society, the Grammys told you that?
no,
Oh, innerly. Okay, never mind.
no, like the home, like Danger Mouse said that. He said, well, if you, you know, because we were like, what the hell? Like, why is there just like, it's just strange when you see one type of woman, you know, and it's 60 of them. And then it just wasn't right. And so we said something about it, and it basically got turned into like, well, if you don't, you know, obviously we're not changing it. We're not going to hire more minorities or just even it was like literally one girl with brown hair. She felt awkward. she was Spanish, and she was just like, this is weird.
Damn it.
And but I was told that that's what they requested. That's what was the request. And you know, that's like, that was I guess them keeping it real. And then they just basically was like, well, if you have a problem with it, like, well, you don't have to do it, we'll pay you, but you won't have to do it. And at the time, to be quite frank, I didn't want to lose my job, so I was like, no, I'll do it. But I wanted to let you guys know how awkward it is that you guys just hired 70 like white girls with blonde hair on purpose, and you normally have two of us, me and this black guy, doing background singing. Like, just check yourself on that, you know?
So you gotta check yourself before you rig it erect. By the way,
Yeah.
we're a lot of love in the comments. I'm seeing some love, and I see some acknowledgement, and we just want to salute you back as well. Which, by the way, everybody who is watching, listening, Los Lounge podcast will be now sponsored in part by and streamed on powerliveradio.com. You can go to the website or download the app for Apple or what's the other phone?
Android.
Samsung, sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry.
I don't have an Android.
Ooh, I'm not petty. Please check out Power Live Radio, and also check out the YouTube channel. I don't really have many episodes on there. It's just other content, but go check it out. And I need everyone to go follow Reese everywhere, wherever, YouTube, Spotify, at wherever she is. Follow her now. I just wanted to throw that in there right now. All right, so I'm trying to think really quickly, like just we got Brooklyn, we did the show, we did the album, we did new music, we did frivolous things. What's in the future for Reese? Just I know the album's coming out. I know you're gonna continue to tour. What do you see for yourself?
Honestly, I want to start acting more. I mean, recently I just, I was asked to like audition for something, and I'm like, I want to get it. I want to get the part. So
let's claim that right now, everybody. Like,
yeah,
to exist.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's like a new project coming out. I can't really talk about it, but it's coming on like a new live streaming thing. Like, you know how like all the live streams have like the mini web series, and they reached out. They said, we want a vocalist to do this, and send in an audition tape. And so my fingers are crossed that I get it, and I would love to, do more of it. And I think I'm going to start taking some classes.
I saw a question that scrolled earlier and I missed it, and so now that it came back to me, somebody asked you if would you ever consider recording How I Do in the same sense that Ashanti did it, so that you can get back your royalties, your all that profit for you and what have you? Is that something that ever crossed?
Who asked that?
I'm scrolling.
It's like they're reading my mind.
I'm gonna tell you right now, love. Give me 1 second. She put desperately need a Seattle show, so they want you in Seattle.
I want to come to Seattle.
Complex anxiety. Shout out to you. Will you record How I Do like Ashanti so you can get royalties instead of the label?
Absolutely.
In the name of Prince.
Absolutely.
Damn it!
She must be psychic. She must be psychic.
Okay. And so it's already in the pipeline?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Not
don't jinx anything yet. Don't jinx it, but it's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Damn right, and you deserve all
absolutely.
that.
But not because of what you think. Like it wasn't, it wasn't something I wanted to do, but it's something that I'm most likely I have to do now. But we'll talk about it later.
If you could pick a hip hop artist to whether it be featured or do a remix somewhat like Nas did for Ice King. Nas, where are you? We need you and Reese on stage together. Can someone call Nas, please? Who would be your dream feature? Like, who would you?
Ice King right now with rappers out, honestly, I think I would have to go with like Kendrick. Like Kendrick Lamar. I would go with like the baby and all that. I don't like the baby, little baby, the baby, la baby. I ain't with all that. I'm just like, Coil Ray, I get it, but like, I can't take the speech impediment is like killing me with her. But he's like adorable. but she's like
You
so
know,
adorable. It's crazy. And her energy is amazing, and like she's a great performer and all that good stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But I think it'll be like Kendrick Lamar, my dream, you know. Kendrick or like Kanye. You know, I'm still messing with Kanye all day. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I love Kanye West.
Look, he's the cousin we just can't ignore.
Yeah, he is. He that cousin. He is that cousin. Oh
It's
my
like
God.
but you know what though? But even him, even when I saw the episode of Drink Champs, and my God, he made so much sense. So we still
Mhm.
love our Kanye.
Yeah.
But you know what I would love? I would love, and I'm manifesting. I would love to see like a bill, like a tour, like you and just like you mentioned her. Was it her or SZA? You mentioned earlier.
Scissor.
Like yeah, or just all of them.
Yeah.
Just one bill, just doing it. Black girls
And
rock. Black
Willow,
girl
like
magic.
Willow.
Huh?
And Willow Smith, she's great too. So adorable. So adorable.
Love Willow. You
So
and
cute.
Willow.
So cute. I know. She's so adorable. Me, Willow, SZA, her, um, even yeah, like it's a lot of people. It's a
Yeah.
lot of people. That would be a great show.
Let's get into relatable things. Really quickly. What's your favorite cereal?
Cereal?
Mhm.
I'm one of those people that I never drink. I never put milk in my cereal. Little known fact, like I eat cereal dry, and I use my favorite cereal. I don't even eat cereal anymore, but when I did,
Yeah.
I loved Cookie Crisp.
Ooh.
I was a Cookie Crisp motherfucker boy. That and like Frosted Mini Wheats. Frosted Mini Wheats.
Okay.
I would kill some Frosted Mini Wheats and
What,
Cookie Crisp. That's
what?
like not even healthy cereal. It's like
No. Well, none of it is really. What's your
none of
go-to dish that you cook? Your
my
favorite.
what?
Your favorite
My
meal
favorite.
to cook?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't like to cook. It's not. I like. I'm one of those people. I like to be served, and I like to
Oh.
eat. I'm a foodie. I love to be like served. Like I like to go to
Okay.
restaurants. But my
Start.
boyfriend, I cook for my boyfriend all the time because
Aw.
he gotta eat, and he's allergic to the kitchen, so he gotta eat.
Let me say
So,
one more time for that one.
so tonight, let me tell you what I made him tonight. I made him steak, like jerk seasoning steak, and broccoli and like garlic broccoli and a salad. But I just didn't even finish the salad because it had like gnats in it.
Oh.
The lettuce had like all these gnats, and I just like washed it off, and now I'm kind of skeeved by it. But I guess like okay. So my favorite thing to make is my favorite thing to make him is jerk chicken wings.
Oh my God, that sounds so good right now.
Yeah, I like it's easy for me to make. They always come out good. He likes them. Jerk chicken.
Okay.
And it's healthy, I think. Like it's not, you know, so bad.
Reese wakes up in the morning. Reese is trying to get into her whole vibe for the day. What's one of the first songs you like to play?
Um, I still like to hear like Marvin Gaye. Old school. I like old school stuff gets me like in my groove, you know? Hear My Dear, I always can listen to, or Hotter Than July by Stevie Wonder, or
Come
which
on now.
these are albums. These are albums, not songs, but it's like the album I'll lock into, you know? But sometimes when I'm driving in my car now, I'll listen to like playlists, and I'll listen to like the new R&B just because I want to hear like what is new and like what are people doing that's new. But I like the old, like the classics. Sometimes like right now, I have to do a DJ set, and I'm gonna do an all female DJ set for my next thing at Fitler Club, and so I'm going through like a lot of tunes now and trying to pull out all the female stuff. Um, but I would like right now I kind of want to hear like Luther, you
Mm.
know, like searching for so long, searching, like the old school, you know, like
Yeah.
I like 80s R&B so
Mm-hmm.
much, you know, and I like just like soul music, you know.
Okay, so when you upset or you're PO'd, what song are you gonna play?
Um,
Trying to get the different.
Like Rage Against the Machine.
Come on now.
You know, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Now.
You know, that's what I'm listening to. Or, you know, I wanna get free. I wanna get free, ride. Like, you know, old school stuff.
My girl. Yes.
Angsty stuff.
I always ask everybody this at the lounge. And we mentioned verses earlier. These are the fun, frivolous. Who? Okay, Destiny's Child or TLC?
TLC. All day, TLC. And I'm a Beyonce fan, but I wasn't a very big.
I would have said the same thing too. TLC as well.
Yeah, I'm not really a Destiny Child fan.
That whole first album, on the TLC tip. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean the whatchalits were great. The like the intros and the interludes. It was like what?
Yes.
Interludes were everything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody can see her, but this is the only person I can put up there in my head. I always hear the Breakfast Club mentioning this too. Mariah versus Mary J.
I never was a big Mariah fan. Is that bad?
It's okay to say that.
But
if she shades you, don't be mad. She's the queen of the shade.
She is though. But I never was into it. Like I guess because I'm like a tomboy or something, it was like she was just too girly for me. It was like you're girly for like no reason. It's like you're so prissy. It's like you're annoying me. Like, stop, Mariah. And I don't like the piercing note thing. I'm not into that. Like, like give me like give me that New York. Give me that New York. Like, you know, I like, you know.
Sorry, she basically just said I don't know her. All right. This is my favorite one, and everybody always, you know what? If I could have it my way, Janet Jackson versus Madonna, because I can't think of any other female that can
go with Janet
or go with Madonna. They're both up there. So I think they're the best. So who would
Janet and Lauryn? What about Janet and Lauryn Hill? I guess no, because Lauryn Hill don't have that much material out.
Yeah, I'm just comparing catalog and iconicism. So I feel like we'll have to give Madonna the hall pass based on.
But Madonna, the thing about Madonna, like I'm Janet Jackson all the way, first off. But Madonna, like, you know, the thing that bothered me about Madonna is that she's the only one, it seems, that everyone let her get away with being like with appropriating
from the beginning.
Yeah, like she gets the pass to appropriate, and I'm like, you don't get the pass with me to do that. Like, you know, and it kind of like people just kind of chalk it up like, oh, you know, it's a theme, and she's so great when she's into a theme, and it's like, no. I get it, it's a theme, but it's also like, just because you have like black people dancing around you does not mean you're not appropriating, because like you don't even pay them well.
Oh my God, wait.
So it's like, no.
Pull the car around, I'm going home. Oh shit.
Yeah. But it's like true. It's like, come on. Like, even like very recently.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just being dramatic for effect. That's all.
No, but I saw something like she posted something on her like IG, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, we got this cover done, and I want to thank all the people that, you know, did it for free and didn't get paid to do it and slept over, you know, for days to get this photo shoot done. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me saying someone did something for you for free? Well, like, nah. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see that?
I seen a lot that she's done, especially in the last 2 years. And you follow me. You know I love this woman since I was a little kid. Even in the last year, I've been like, all right, Mo, put that ass away. We've seen it already. Put it away now.
But you know, she can't. It's
tactics like that to tarnish anyone's legacy. Do you know what I mean? But
The images of her like like on the ground, like in her bedroom, it was like, ah. But I get it. Like, she's Madonna. She's not just gonna like, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. But I don't know. I'm like, I think she had her moment, and I get that she was one of the only like white women that was promoting, you know, the cultural diverse thing. But I just don't like it. Sometimes it got too fetish for me,
Mm,
you know.
nope. I totally get it,
I'm like,
and it's not even just with her too. Like, it's many people now. I feel like Justin Timberlake,
listen,
Ed,
there was a whole,
Ed Sheeran, even like, what? What are you doing? Anyways, I'm sorry.
well, I mean, it was a lot. Like, there was an era of artists that came out of Interscope Records specifically that it was really embarrassing. Like, it was like, okay, Gwen Stefani with the Harajuku girls, and then it was Eve with the Spanish maids, and then it was like, what's wrong with you guys? Why are you
Yeah,
doing this? You
yeah.
know, Justin Timberlake, he worked with Pharrell, and he did his whole thing, and he's trying to, it just sucks because they get to do it. They get to do that and and that's the whole thing. It's like,
Or they've gotten away with it for as long as they have. I think we're now in an era where we're so quick to call out things and just be like, hey, come on up, dial it back. Dial it back. Because there is a lot of things. There's paying homage, and then there's just really just this has been the history of music, Reese. You know this from the day Little Richard, Pat Boone was stealing Little Richard's music. Elvis Presley,
yeah,
they were taking black artists' music and then making all this money. As we all know,
yeah.
some of the black artists still haven't even got paid a goddamn dime.
No, but I'm wondering, like, is there an artist, who is the white artist that is really influenced and doesn't? Because I mean, for that matter, we could say the Beatles did it, or Rolling Stones, or it's like, what artists, like, how can you, like, you don't want to just say, oh, because they're white and they like black music and they're doing it. That's appropriation, but it feels that way. To be someone that did it and didn't, but I don't know who it is. But,
Right. The Beatles have
I don't want to just be out here.
My favorites. No, I'm with you. The Beatles recorded a song, Blackbird. And I know they wrote that for the movement back in in the 60s and what have you, and I thought that was pretty cool. The Stones were all about jazz and whatnot, but we can go on about this.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, really random, and I don't know how much time you have, but if you had, not that you would want to, because it's already flawless the way it is, but if you had opportunity to rename your albums, we'll start with How I Do. What would you rename it?
Just Reese, self-titled. Just my name.
Yeah.
But I think How I Do was like perfect. I think that name was perfect because it really did, no one else was doing that.
Nothing sounded like that.
Yeah. So I think it was really a good title.
You know what's so incredible about your album is that you have different genres and you blend it and you mesh well at all. And on that particular album, it's just it flows.
Yeah, and I can't take all that credit. It was definitely, the producers that, and the musicians, and it was Santi, and it was Corey Smith. It was everybody that album. I guess I couldn't have named it Reese self-titled because I was just, honestly, I felt like the representative for the team. So, it would have been like me taking almost too much credit probably. Like I didn't do that alone, and I'm proud of the people that that we did it together, and we had a lot of ups and downs, and some of us aren't even friends anymore, but at least we did something. At least we're not friends, and we still did something great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like shit happens, but I think it was a team effort. I can't say enough how much of a team effort it was. And we weren't all best of friends in doing it, but when we all agreed on something that we liked, that's what went to the next level. That was like, okay, it's done. We all like it, you know, and that's pretty challenging, you know. And there were also a lot of different versions made for each song. Like we wouldn't just make one version and be like, okay, that's it. We would be like, okay, now how do we do it a different way?
Right.
You know, so, you know, it was really an interesting way to make an album, and a very labor intensive way to make an album, but it was worth it. And, you know, I'm just glad I was a part of it, you know, but it definitely was a team. It definitely was a team. I can't take the credit myself, and I wouldn't want to. And,
Yeah.
you know, even the musicians that played on it that you don't know, like Kobe James, who helped write Ice King, and, you know, or I adjusted his song Ice King, and, you know, Fingers, this guy named Fingers, that was the keyboard player. And, you know, it was a group effort, and that album was a reflection of all of our music taste, you know.
Because you were in Outcast, yes?
Yeah, we loved
So far,
Outkast.
right? That was the reference. I think you mentioned this even last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a reference. Like you know, we were like, who do we want to make an album like? And it was like Outkast, you know. We didn't want to have a lot of features on it like Outkast. We wanted it to sound different, not like Outkast, but just different, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we did that, you know.
I
We did that.
think you did a great job, and making sure that mission was completed and getting that. Have you met them before? Sorry, my brain is
I
going.
did.
Oh.
I did meet I didn't meet Big Boy, but I met Dre. Yeah, I met Dre. It was interesting. Okay, so I was living in California at the time, and around that time I was hanging out with Esteban Oriol. He is a tattoo artist who tattooed like 50 Cent's back, and did like everybody, like Esteban Oriol, Mexican guy that is an amazing. Actually, no, I'm telling the story wrong. Okay, Esteban is a photographer.
Okay.
You remember the I have to put my phone down to show you. You remember the t-shirt where it's like someone's hands and it's like this, like LA. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Right? And it's like a finger of some girls, like, you know, like nails, and it's like that LA thing, right? So the guy who took that photograph, his name is Esteban Oriol. He is best friends with Cartoon. Cartoon is the artist, the tattoo artist that did like 50 Cent's back. He did Eminem's. He does like everybody, like, and he does.
I've seen that. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Cartoon. So I happened to be hanging out with. I went to Cuba with. I met Esteban in Cuba, and so afterwards, you know, we're in LA. I lived in LA, and he's like, "Yeah, come around, come meet Cartoon or whatever. Come to the shop." So I go to South LA, East LA, you know, the straight up Cholo area, like official, you know. And I'm driving. I have like a white Pathfinder at the time, so I drive my little white Pathfinder up. We're hanging out. I'm sitting in the chair. He's got like his tattoo chair has like Glocks on it, right? So I'm sitting there and hanging out, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna go to the video shoot. You should come with us." And I was like, "Video shoot?" They're like, "Yeah, Dre 2000 has a video shoot at the high school in East LA." And it was roses. You know, roses smell like, you know. No, Caroline. It was Caroline. Is that
same song?
Same song, right? So remember they shot that video at a high school. It was like a high school play video, right? So we go there, and not only that day did I meet Dre 3000, but I met Corrupt that day.
Wow.
So I go there, and we go. Now Esteban, the photographer, is literally like 6'5", 6'8".
Yeah, I have his picture up here.
He a big Mexican dude with tattoos. Well, he's a very nice guy, but he can look intimidating. Cartoon is about my height, which is like, he's like 5'7", 5'5", 5'7". I'm not 5'7", I'm 5'3", but Cartoon is considerably shorter. For some reason, people think that the bigger guy, Esteban, is Cartoon. Like, they don't even know the Cartoon is Cartoon sometimes, because they just know his name.
Yeah.
So, but Esteban, mind you, is 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8".
Right. Right.
We roll up to the video shoot and it's at a high school, and there's another guy that's exactly the same height and size as Esteban. So you know immediately it's gonna be, and he's a white dude. So you know immediately, and he has like this army beret hat on, the white dude, and he's like the security guard, you know, he's like, and Esteban walks up to him, and you know how two men puff up, like, you know, like, what's up, what's up?
Chest
And
out.
we're all standing there. I'm like really behind them because I'm, you know, and he says, he looks up to the guy, and the guy is ready to be like, you know, like, you ain't getting in here, what are you doing? And all of a sudden Esteban goes, excuse me, sir, we're here to see Dre 3000. And he says it in the nerdiest, high-pitched, randomest voice, where you just did not expect him to say it like that,
Yeah.
to like throw the guy off, and it totally did. And the guy was just like, huh? And, you know, let us, you know, saw that they were on the list.
Yeah.
And the guy was so worried about, like, because I was with like a bunch of like all these Mexican dudes that were tatted up, like looking like, you know, like East LA. They didn't even see me. I walked right on through, right behind them, and the guy he didn't even see me. That's how much like they were on to them. But before that, on our way there, when we left the tattoo place to go to the thing, I was like, oh, okay, like, what car are we driving? And they were like, oh no, we driving our own cars. Everybody driving their own cars. It was like 4 of us.
Oh.
They
Okay.
got in their car. But everybody had fly cars. Like, they had these kitted out trucks, these, you know, like low riders that was bouncing. Like, they had
They was
those
about that.
cars.
Yeah.
And we drove from the tattoo place to the video shoot in like a caravan of cars. And here I roll up in my Pathfinder at the end, like, I'm with them. Like, obviously you couldn't tell I was with them, but they had these phenomenal cars. And so then we showed up to the place, you know, they got the car parked out. I'm like, where am I parking my little Pathfinder, you know? And we go in, the whole thing with the security guard, and then we go in and we go into the actual area where they're filming with the stage, and we're like looking at, you know, we're looking for Dre 2000, like, where's he at? And when we finally met him, they were like, you know, I was behind these guys, like, this guy's like 6'8" or whatever, and you know, all the other Mexican guys with them, they command people's presence when they walk in the room because their whole vibe is like so hard, and so they like split up. And I was just standing there, and Dre 3000's like, oh, he's like, Reese, we finally meet. And I was like, oh my God, you knew who I was before I walked in this place? Like, are you kidding me? Now, come to find out, they were driving all separate cars because one of the cars was for Dre 3000. It was a red, like, Sanford and Son truck. You guys ever see his truck he got? It's like a Sanford and Son red. These guys were like, I guess they picked it up for him, or they did it. They like repainted it, refurbished it, whatever. And they were delivering the car to him. So they all were like, yeah, we all gonna drive our, you know, fly cars too. And that was part of the reason why we all drove different cars. And then, you know, he went back and did his thing to record. And then we were watching, and Corrupt was there. And Corrupt was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. Like, you're Reese. And I'm like, yeah. He said, you don't understand. I listened to the song Ice King for an entire year.
Come through now.
He said I was depressed about whatever I was depressed about. He said, but for a whole year, I listened to that song every day for a year. And then he went and he said he went and grabbed one of his homeboys, and he was like, yo, man, you know that song Ice King? You know that song Ice King? And his friend was like, yeah, I know that effing song. Like, yeah, what about it?
He was already done with it.
Yeah, he was done with it. He was like, that's the girl that did the song. That's the girl that did the song. And his friend was looking at me like, yo, like, yeah, like, he did listen to that song. Like, he killed us with that effing song. Like, and ever since then, Corrupt has been the homie.
That is awesome.
Ever
I'm
since then.
loving all these new stories about you today. Like,
I couldn't even believe it. Yeah, like all this happened in one day. It was like the best day of my life in California. I was like, I met Dre 3000, and he actually knew who I was before I met him. And then I hear this guy said he listened to Ice King for an entire year when he was depressed, and it got him through. And now I'm meeting him, and now I have a friend for life.
that's phenomenal. And that goes to show you the power of music and just
Everything.
the reach that music has. And you never know who's listening.
You never know. I would have never
Never.
thought. Like between Dre 3000, between Esteban and Cartoon, and then Corrupt. Those are like Corrupt and Esteban and Cartoon. Those are like the hardest OGs like in Cali. Like listening to my music,
Yes, 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 yes.
I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
How
Couldn't believe it.
rewarding. How rewarding.
So rewarding.
Oh my God. I feel like we've covered.
So much.
How we doing? I know, like listen, if you're just now tuning in, you missed a lot. I found things out about you that I didn't know. I'm still getting over the Gnarls Barkley.
Oh yeah, I was doing it.
It would be at the Grammys, wouldn't it? Of all places.
I know. I was so mad.
That's so much like. Do you remember VH1 pop-up video? Pop-up video.
I still want to do a pop-up video. Like I actually want to do one of my videos as a pop-up video, like all of them.
Let's get on it.
I want to do that because I think I should do that I should do that for my own videos.
Videos. I have a question. I wanted to ask you this earlier. I love the new album. I'm sorry, like the new album. I told you this before. It's like how I do. It flows. I mean, I know you're still in the process of.
I know.
You're on your Kanye-ish right now. So when is Donda dropping? No.
Right.
But,
Donda too.
my train of thought. I would love to see a video for Burning Desire.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, to be honest with you, Queen, I would like to see a video for every song. I know I'm being demanding bitch, but I just think like the music is so good, and like sometimes you hear music and you see visual aesthetics in your head, and I'm like, damn it, man, like.
I don't.
I
don't even know what the video should be.
Really?
I'm always like, that part is like not in my brain, and I feel bad about that sometimes. It's not my brain.
Well, you know what? The music speaks for itself, so I guess the hell with the video, right?
No, I mean, I need a video. I definitely need video. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to doing videos, I'm usually like, at that point, I guess because I've heard the song so many times, I don't know. I have my own thing going on or something, but I just am not, some people have a song and they know what the video should be like. I'm like, no, I'm just not that person. I'm always like, okay, here's my song. What do you think?
The video shoot for They Say Vision, good experience?
Great experience. Yeah, it was a 2-day shoot. We were out in Santa Clarita,
Okay.
California, in some big sound stage, and yeah, it was a good shoot. Like it was interesting because I actually picked a director who shot like porn videos or something. I didn't even know at the time that was the thing, that was what he was known for. But yeah, like he was kind of like a risque director, and I didn't even know it. And
Wow.
yeah, it was interesting.
Meanwhile, he's running like Pornhub right now or something.
But he was great at doing videos. Like he was a great video director, but he had just finished that was what he was coming out of, like doing porn stuff, and now he was doing videos. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he makes people look beautiful. Let's do it. But I didn't actually watch any of the porn stuff that he did. I just
I need work.
Yeah, but
play the tape.
Yeah, but the other interesting thing about him was that his mom was a showgirl in Vegas. So he grew up always backstage, with, backstage, like with the beautiful women that would do shows in Vegas. Not porn shows, but just regular dancing.
Yeah.
Mom was a dancer. So he was always fascinated by, beautiful women and shows and, sequence and like all those things, he was, straight man or whatever, but he just was like all into it. And he just really he he just would tell me that was like his first impression of like women, you know, was like backstage with his mom while she was a dancer for these shows in Vegas, which I thought was great, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Damn.
But he was so into like aesthetically stuff that you would think he was like a queen, but he wasn't.
How you
He was
doing?
on point. He was so on point. Yeah.
I guess we should, before we kind of like rap and all that stuff, I want to give a big shout out to Gary, my friend Gary, who loves you.
Hey, Gary.
I want to give a shout out to Rick, who went with me to go see you in 2014. He loves you.
What's up, Rick?
Yeah, shout out to Rick and shout out to Gary. I want to give a big shout out to Power Live Radio, which is the new home of Los Lounge Podcast. Everyone, please don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a review. Season 1 was a situation, but it ended up pretty good. Season 2 is where the finesse is at on my show. I just have to call a spade a spade. Reese, one thing, where can people also find Steve's music? Because he has an EP out, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It's not out yet, but
okay.
You know, if you Google Steve McKean, not only will you'll see, you know, him playing and doing his thing, but you'll also see the songs that he produced. He's produced songs for Estelle, Jill Scott, Bilal. He's done like a lot of Bilal's music. He's done for I Worship. He's done stuff. He's even worked with like Masakela. Like he's worked with like a lot of great people. But just he has a great song by Estelle called Back in Love Again. Like the song is like, I'm like, why didn't she sing this song more often? It's an amazing song. I even started covering it because I love the song that much.
I'm looking it up right now so I can save it on my thing.
Yeah, Back in Love.
Yeah, because I wanted to give him, you know, I want people to support you and spread the love. Reese, tell the world where we can get the music. You know, I know the answers already, but go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, well, you guys, you can hear a lot of my music on Spotify. You can hear it on Apple Music, iTunes. I would personally go on YouTube. I would go on youtube.com/TheOneReese, TheOneRes spelled out, and go on that page because there's a lot of performances from when I was rocking at Rockwood Music Hall. Different, you know, band configurations, myself with piano, guitar, acoustic, percussionist, you know, all different stuff like that. You can also, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it. Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Apple.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's where you can get
Fabulous. Well, in my head, there's 100 people here and we're all clapping for you. Woo!
Yes.
I want to say, as always, you know, I stand in gratitude to you. I adore you, woman. You know this. And to all of your fans and to everyone who came on to the live and said their two piece and rocked with us. Thank you so much. And please don't forget to let's keep the celebration going. 20 years of How I Do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will be in DC very soon. I will be in Detroit very soon, and I'm looking to get into Boston and New York and Philly and all these other places very soon. If not May, June, July, like I'm coming.
She's coming. Mama's coming strong. Oh, one thing though. Are you gonna show up in Charlotte like you did looking like Diana on the go find everyone, go look at the show. The show is on YouTube. Reese's current show is on YouTube, presented by City Stage. Mama was looking gorgeous. Mama turned out.
Yeah, I didn't even know that it was still on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I want to actually see it. I hit them up today, like, can I see this show?
I'll send you when we sign off. I'll send you the link because I put it in my favorites already. Oh yes, a big shout out to Elliot Skinner as well too.
Oh, he was so good. Like I hope I can do more shows with him. He's a great vocalist, a great guitar player, a great songwriter. Like he was just good, and he got up there with his friends. His friends decided to join him. He was supposed to do the show just like with him and his guitar, and then his friends were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go up there and rock," and they were so fun and so cool, and he did a great job. So he made me look good. So
a complex anxiety. You've been incredible. You've been helping us out a lot tonight. I watched it today. See, it's out there. I'm gonna send you the link because they did a good job with it. I must say, I'm so happy they recorded it. Thank God.
Yeah.
All right, Mamacita Bonita. Thank you so much for your time.
I was about to tell you the same thing. Thank you for your time. And it's always a pleasure. It's always fun to do the Los Lounge podcast. And you know what it is.
You already know. We'll be in touch, and I'll send you that link right now. Thank you so much for everything.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night.